Hola y bienvenidos, motherfuckers. Deuces Wild Daily Hustle, Coach Ferber Unfiltered.
My guy, Byrnesy. What's good out here, Playboy?
All good, man. How you been, dude?
Good, man. Everything is beautiful, man. I just pulled up down here, and we did a nice, cool clinic. It was a coaches development clinic, and we got, because it's so rare that you get all these coaches in the same spot because everybody's doing their thing except for this coaches convention. So the day before, me, Bobby Tewksbury, Chris Colabello, Casey Smith, we want to bring all these coaches in and share this free information on what we've been working on, and just share it freely, and then start this open conversation, because what's been going on is there's like a disconnect between the college coaches and the pro coaches and the private sector guys that they train guys privately. And I think what the disconnect is, college and pro coaches, they're basing their training, the feedback is off of their wins and losses, right? So if I'm winning, then I'm keeping my training pretty the same. If I'm losing, we got to change our stuff up, maybe bring in this guy or this guy, right?
Sure.
Private sector guys are not basing their training off of wins and losses. They're basing their training off of metrics in a cage, and also the run business. So in order to keep my business open, I got to train you, and I got to get Eric Byrnes to tell another guy, this guy helped me out being a better hitter.
Yeah.
So we brought in Wake Forest, my boys Corey Mascara and Bill Salento, and they gave their perspective from the college side. Those guys, they finished number one in the whole NCAA last year. Corey's over here accepting an award.
They killed it.
Killed it,
yeah.
Right? But we wanted to help the hitting guys. So say Corey basically told everyone what his process was of how does he build a scouting report, how does he attack hitters based on what he sees, and it's so helpful because if you're a guy that trains hitters privately, to hear what's actually going on in the game, because you're stuck in this cage, you're trying to get the metrics to play on the field, but you're not seeing what the guy's seeing or what your guy's doing in the box.
Correct.
So it's super helpful, and that's kind of what we did was the whole vibe of the event. Everybody, it was a quick 10 minutes here, you go next. Open questions from the audience. Nobody's getting judged. You work with kids that are 5 years old, come on in. We're not judging you. You work with big leaguers, come on in. And then we had some data and tech stuff with Tewksbury and Colabello with their Pelotero app. So if you like the data and tech stuff, after everybody's talking, you break up 10 or 15 guys over here. You want to talk to Casey Smith about how he hits with DJ LeMahieu, you can go over here. You want to talk to me about whatever, college recruiting and different things, whatever you want to talk about. But it was a good time, man. But how you doing, man? Everything good?
I'm well, dude. Yeah, just trying to spread the good word. I think kind of like you, just got the new Let Them playbook out and running. I will gift this copy to you. It's a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. Basically, what it is 22 codes of conduct for coaches, players, and parents. And how I came up with that is when we were essentially expanding as an organization, I didn't want to turn my organization over and have the Let Them Play name on the front of the jersey and have a douchebag fucking running it.
Right.
There's no way, man.
Right.
And so as we continue to expand, I'm like, dude, we have to come up with these codes to keep everybody tight. And at least I could go back to it when I say, hey, man, like, we're good going forward. Like, look, you had this dad doing this. You had this, coach doing this. You had this player doing this. Like, that's not what we're looking for. Like, it's not who we are as an organization. So there's a creed in there, which is really kind of loosely based on the Navy SEAL creed, and not to compare, what do you call it? War, obviously, baseball, totally different, but I have so much respect for our armed forces that they're the greatest team I've ever seen.
Right.
And for a reason. And it's because of the creed. So it's similar, changed a lot of the wording and whatnot to make it very applicable to baseball. So yeah, just wrote this and then grinding away on no filter.
Bro, I'll tell you something that I always, whenever I see you, and we've only met a year and a half maybe ago.
Yeah.
But the energy is electric, right?
Thanks, bro.
And you can't fake it. And that's why I tell a lot of people that a lot of especially young coaches and guys say, hey, what do you recommend? I'm a new coach just getting into it. It's like, man, be yourself.
Yeah.
And when you show up every day, because your team's culture and attitude is going to reflect the leadership that you bring.
Yeah.
And if I go in there with this preconceived notion on what a coach is supposed to be like,
Yeah.
look, man, if I'm a coach in the first pitch of the game, guy, umpire misses a call an inch off the plate, and that's terrible.
Oh, jeez. It sets the whole game off.
Everybody,
right?
all my players are
the
going to
players
be chirping
from the get-go.
Yeah.
Why don't
hey, man,
give him the power, man?
Next pitch.
Coaches are idiots when they do that. Like even players, like from the beginning, like, look, it's a long game and it's a long at bat. And so if there's a bad call, it's just the body language. No, fuck that, bro. Look, no big deal. You blew it. Okay.
Yep.
Right back at it. Right back in. Feel the air pass through your nostril. Put your big boy pants on. Let's fucking go.
The crazy part is that nobody knows you're having a bad day unless you show them you're having a bad day.
Yeah, you're right.
I got kids on my team. They're 0 for 3 with 2 punches in a row over. Hit the back, come back inside, put the helmet down, slam the bat or whatever on the side, come back in. Hey, let's go, pick me up.
Yeah.
On the way back in, everybody's thinking, man, he's having a bad day. As soon as he starts the energy and let's go, pick me up, I guess he's not having a bad day.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's one of the things every time I see the No Filter Network, I always keep it on. Because the energy you put out is going to attract what you want to put out. Right? Yeah. And I guarantee you, dudes that are negative people, they can't hang out with you for very long. No. They just, not because you won't hang out with them, they can't keep up the pace.
No.
You can't keep it up.
They don't want to be around me. I don't want to be around them. And you feel it. And it's just, you know what is worse than anything in this game? Too cool for school.
That's the worst.
It's the worst. It's like you could be an asshole, whatever.
Yeah, we're just running this podcast real quick right after that.
All right. You can get in there. Take another one with
All right, let's take a pic real quick, brother. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You got it, brother.
Celebrity out here. So my point is that you can have the guy that, again, like he could be a dick. You could have the guy that is just, I don't know, say just not cool, but whatever. And the guy is who he is. Yeah, but the worst of the worst is the one that thinks he's better than the game. The one that, like, the too cool for school type of thing, and with lazy emotions and no energy. That's what we try to avoid. That we like. And I tell the kids, look, there's only so many things in this game control. Our attitude, our effort, obviously starts there. But just like you said, I mean, you punch out, bro, and you come back to the dugout and you're slouching like, get your fucking chest up, get your head up, walk back, put your chest up. You know what? You got me this time. All right, we'll do this again. Right? You come back. If you start, this is the best message I think we can send to all the kids, is that by throwing a temper tantrum in the dugout when you get back there, that means you don't care about your teammates.
For sure.
Because now you're taking your inner emotions and energy and everything else, and you're, like you said, you're making it about you when you're already done, bro. You just failed. I don't need you to continue to freaking wipe your failure on the rest of our dugout. Put your head up. Nobody. It was one of the greatest things I've heard in a long time. Nobody knows you're having a bad day unless you show them you're having a bad day.
Yeah, they don't.
That's awesome, bro.
It is, man. I tell my guys sometimes that I see, certain kids, there's a difference, and I think a good coach can understand the difference between their players on who's the kid that needs the hug, right? When he's down and pick them up and dust them off, and who's the kid that you need to blow him up a little bit, right? Yep. And dealing with those personalities and knowing your players really well and say, "No, you're better than that, dude. Like, you're better. So get your shit and take a walk outside the dugout because your energy is toxic for us right now."
Yeah.
You can do 3 things in a baseball game. You can be a player, you can be a spectator, or you can officiate. You can be all 3. You can't do both at once. Yeah. You can only do one at a time. Yeah. You can't be an umpire and be a player. You can't be a spectator and be you want to sit and watch the game and not root? Go sit in the stands and be a spectator, right? Yeah. But I try to tell my guys, while you're playing and while you're here, the point is that I can always keep my good energy if my thought is I'm so grateful for just the opportunity. I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to go 4 for 4. Whether I go 4 for 4 today or not, doesn't matter. I have the opportunity where the kid, I know it's cliche. Oh, the kid, he can't walk. He's in a wheelchair. He's blind. It's true. If you think about how much we take for granted,
Yeah.
we're sitting here crying about an at-bat, or you hit a line drive and a dude caught it, and there's some dude in the stands, a kid that's got cerebral palsy, he can't even play, and you're in here whining, bringing everybody down.
Yeah.
Come on, dude, that ain't it.
Yeah.
So I just was saying, like, every time I see you, and that's another thing is that when people say Eric Byrnes, right? When people say your name, Jason Ferbs, whoever it is, Derek Jeter, there's a feeling, an emotion that's attached to it based on what your perspective and what your relationship was with the guy, what your interaction has been. It's a reputation, right? And so when somebody says my name, anybody, anywhere here, maybe there'll be a couple of guys that go, man, that guy's a clown. He's a jerk off. I don't like that guy. That's okay. If the majority of the people that matter feel a certain feeling, like when somebody says Eric Byrnes, I'm like, yo, that's my guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to create that reputation.
Isn't it crazy though how they because there are obviously people that are going to talk shit about you or about me, and it doesn't matter, and they're going to say, they'll mistake our energy as something that is fake, right? And that's the thing I think that gets us both laughing, where they're the clown show or this, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, dude, it's those are the ones that don't know. Like they just don't know, or they're living such a pessimistic, miserable life. They can go fuck themselves. Like, and as you get older, or as I get older, I've stopped caring about what insignificant outsiders think. I do care about what the overall realm of things in say an outside. Now I say insignificant. There's outsiders, insignificant. Outsiders are ones that I still think we can influence positively and bring them into our world.
Sure.
Where you have the insignificant outsiders that you're never going to change them. Right. The same guys that you brought up from the get-go. And it's just no matter what you do. I played with guys like that. I did. There was not a lot, but there were a few that just no matter what I did, it's false hustle. It's this or that, whether I played with or against them. It's like, yo, man, I'm taking my fucking balls. I'm putting it on the line each and every single night. I'm pouring my heart and soul into this game. I'm giving it absolutely everything I have. If that's false hustle, if that's not good enough, I'm okay with it, because when I put my head on the pillow at night, I can look myself in the mirror. Before that, I know what I gave.
Right.
And that's, you need to be, you want to talk about authenticity? You're the fucking only one that knows. You're the one that's got to be able to be like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of times, like, I like to try to slow things down if I ever get caught up in, you and I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people, and, with all of them, one of the things we're joking around to be like, you got to keep walking. And we're at this convention. We got to keep going, keep moving. If we have to get somewhere, if we have time to
hang out,
scour around, hang out and talk, and go hang out at the hotel bar, whatever. And Adam Viral. So this is a guy right here gets a double bird right now. Ferbs?
Savannah Bananas?
Savannah Bananas, the man, the myth, the legend.
I know this guy from Brooklyn way back in the day. God bless, man. How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Everything good?
What's up, bro? I was here at noon when you were supposed to be here a little late. No, you weren't, were you? I was right here. No, you weren't. Come on, man. What are you doing? You run around? All right.
You too, Adam.
We only got a little bit more battery
left. We got to catch up. Later, brother. So I'll tell you, to go back to your point, you can really tell if it's fake energy or real when you put the camera on somebody.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys, social media dudes or whoever, whatever you want to call them, when the camera's not on, they're completely different people.
Yeah.
That's what I love about you, is that I'm just fucking around at the airport, hanging, waiting for the plane. That same Byrnes energy and, oh shit, we're cracking jokes and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's not just, hey, turn the camera on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
No, obviously, like anybody that's doing social media stuff, you have to amplify your personality a little bit.
You have to.
I like to say, yo, my God. When I go to the field and see my players, everything is, my God. What's good out here?
Yo, my God.
I'm not going to go into the bank and tell the bank teller, my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? But I mean, when you keep it the same all the time, then you just stay in the habit. And like my friend Chris always tells me, Calabelli, he said, the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Yep. How you do anything is how you
Right?
do everything. Yeah,
It
I
is,
tell my
man.
kids that.
It is. It is. You want to be sloppy with your schoolwork and sloppy. If your room has shit flying all over the place,
Yep.
probably your baseball bag has shit flying all over. You're probably losing gloves and
Yep.
batting gloves all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're probably your hair's not taken care of when you walk
No.
outside. It depends on what you value, and nothing's right or wrong, but perspective does matter when it comes to like achieving things in life and meeting
It
people and
does.
things like that.
And at some point, you have to pay attention to that. You have to pay attention to those little things. And I wasn't always the best at it, but as I got older and I realized like I want to do shit with my life and I
Right.
want to be able to be organized. And I keep thinking about my own kid because that's one of the things that he can work on, right? It's like, yo, man, get your baseball bag together, get your shit together,
Yeah.
get your ski gear together. And like ultimately that's going to give you less stress in your life and everything. Now, there's also an element, and I respect it, from him or from my middle daughter too, is that they're very carefree about stuff and they don't let certain things bother them. So I'll use, my kid, for example, like typically when he gets out, like he is that good teammate.
Yeah.
And he does like, I used to, I had a real tough time controlling my emotions.
Right.
Then I'd get back up that top step. I promise you.
Yeah.
But it was after a couple F-bombs and this and this. And I'm trying to think about it because again, like you've already failed. You don't need to draw any more attention to you. Like, and I don't be an asshole about it, but it's the truth. Think about that.
I want the guy that cares like you.
Yeah.
Even if he's a little wild, that's what coaches are for. I feel like I can dial that guy back.
Yeah.
Rather than
Tune somebody up.
Yeah. I mean, what are we trying to get out of young kids? Intent, aggressiveness, competitive nature. Those are the three key components. That's why if my wife doesn't want my kid to play Pop Warner football and shit like that, I'll probably put him in a little bit of Pop Warner football at 5, 6, 7 years old, just so you can take a lick and get back up. When they're 12, 13 and dudes are taking people's heads off, I don't need him to do that. But I would say, like, when I teach a young kid how to swing a bat, it's a completely different process than when I work with the guys that are in the big leagues. Like, because kid that I'm trying to unlock intent, unlock a sequence that's going to create power.
Yeah.
When they're young, I'm swing hard in case you hit it.
Yeah.
3 G hacks every at bat, get the most healthy ones
Yeah.
off because the pitching is not going to be as elite. And if they're just trying to groove you heaters over the plate and throw strikes, you're taking off on something and you're taking G hacks. As the pitching gets better, they're going to be able to command secondary stuff and fastball counts. Now we can dial it back, get a little more precise and dial back the movements. It's the same thing with the attitude thing. I'd rather have that angry, like crazy competitive nature and dial it, tune it down.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to teach intent
to
the older guys.
1,000% know what you're talking about. So your life right now, I mean, dude, every time I check you out on social, you're in a different location, doing a different thing. Like, walk me through a day in Coach Ferbs' life.
Day in my life is obviously get up at. So first thing I feel is my 2-year-old son slapping me in the face. That's how I wake up.
Love it.
All right?
Love it.
Slap across the face every morning. Hey, Dad, smack. Nice way to wake up. Then I'm ready to start my day. I play around with him because he's my world right now. And there's something different. I didn't have kids till I was later in life. I'm already 45, right? I had a kid when I was 43.
Perfect.
And yeah, man, I was like, when I was young, I was just in a different space mentally, doing different things. But man, because when you walk in the house, there's a sound of children in the house, that little toys being played, little giggles and stuff. Dude, no matter how bad my day has gone or what I'm struggling with, or this dude's trying to, I ran up a credit card or I'm doing this event and I'm trying to, doesn't matter. When I go in the house, I'm like, Dad.
Yeah.
Man, that feeling is electric, dude.
Yeah.
So I start always like that. And I always try to stay grateful for just having a little baby boy that I can mess around with. Once I drop him off at preschool, we start getting our day. I have the guys that I train off the field who I also have I have set groups. I don't do a lot of one-on-one stuff anymore with guys other than the guys that I've been with for years.
So you do group lessons.
I like group lessons a little more. I feel like groups of 3 to 4 max, 2 to 4, but probably 3 I feel like is a sweet spot. I feel like It allows guys to take a break in between rounds. It's more of a natural flow of take 6 or 7 quality swings. You know, it limits all the guys that the one more guys. Hey, give me one more. I didn't hit it. I'm like, bro, listen. First of all, there's a time for one more, right? But like, it's not. Everybody talks about let's train how game like situations, right? If I take a heater middle, right, and I don't swing at it, or I clip a ball, pop a ball, roll over, I don't get to say one more in a game. I gotta sit for 8 hitters. I gotta sit down and I gotta think about what I just did and why I took that pitch or why I squared up. So, dude, I'm not saying all the time, but every once in a while, like in all rounds, to say, look, guys, there is no one more.
There is no one more.
No, last one. Hey, coming out, dude. If you want, step out. All right, cool. Hold up, one more. Put yourself in a situation. Runner on second, 2 outs. Late in the game, man. What am I doing here? Maybe I'm not trying to hit a homer. Maybe I'm trying to take something and let's hit a ball line drive to right field and get this run in and win the game. But you can see the focus of the guys, and I believe personally, and I could be wrong, that most of the great baseball players that I've ever met have great imaginations, right? They're able to put themselves in the game when they're at practice, in situations the most can. I know my pitchers that if they're in their room at night, they close their eyes, go through their delivery, maybe do a two innings. It's just like a sim game by themselves, even step offs, whatever, like delivery. Oh, hit a double. Shit, get back on the mound. Cool. Go through the whole. Those type of guys, man, are dangerous. Because and my job as a coach, I feel, is just to keep that young guy's imagination intact. Just loving the practice, loving the struggle, loving everything. Then here's the high school guy, pass him on to him. High school coach or guys in high school, here's a college coach. Pass him on with his imagination intact, not making the game a job too early for him.
So are most of the kids now that you work with, are they all in California?
No, they're all over the place because there's a team I do now. It's called Evolution.
Okay.
Right? And Evolution started for us. What Evolution is, it's a pre-draft workout for the top 35 guys in the Northeast that are high school seniors, draft eligible high school seniors. We bring a bunch of scouts down. They get to write some stuff down before the high school season. The scouts tell us, hey, get this guy, get this guy, get this guy. We make a fun event. We bring current pro guys that we've trained before that are now pro guys. They come and they're captains of the teams. And we do that. Now,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's different than a regular showcase because usually at those things, if you go to a perfect game or something, it's every man for himself. Right? But we take all the top 4 shortstops, high school shortstops. And then I bring a pro shortstop that's in the minors before he goes to spring training. He's the captain of your team. So all those dudes that have been worshiping you around your school saying, hey, you're the man, you're going to get drafted. Now look what actually a quality round of BP looks like and how different it is. So we take the pro guy and they're taking ground balls with them. And then they take it after that guy. And they also can talk to the pro guy about their experience. Right. So it's really the best part about the event is I'm in high school about to make a decision to sign a pro contract or go to college. I got all these current pro guys that are telling me their experience and saying, well, I got drafted in the 3rd round. They paid me $780,000 or something. And I took the money because my family didn't have that much money, but maybe I should have went to college if I could have done it over.
That's such a tough decision, man.
Such a tough one.
I wouldn't even know how to advise a kid. I guess more than anything, I would probably leave it up to them. But if without it being such a financial thing where you never want to chase the money, you never want to just do it for the money. You have to think of like what's the best for the kid in the development of the baseball player. That question, if you can answer that question, and if the best thing for the development of the baseball player is to sign and go play pro ball, that's it. Cool, go for it. If it's to go to college, I don't care if you were, a back half first round pick. It still doesn't matter. Like, you're a back half first round pick. Go pick up a fucking front half first round pick. Like that's Troy Gloss was his first pick of the 2nd round or whatever it was. And so Troy basically went from being like the 2nd rounder, like, how are you going to improve from there? Right. To now I'm the 2nd pick overall. So think about that. And that's 3 years of doing it.
There's so many different, like everybody always has different stories. Like and like it worked out for him. I coached another kid in high school.
You want a book? My man. Yes, sir. I'll sign it for you.
Yes, sir.
Too. Thank you.
I don't want to interrupt. No, come on. No, you're fine.
Robert, should I make it to you or somebody else?
No, make it to Manny and Ryan.
Manny and Ryan. Gotcha.
It's a big dog. Good to see you. Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Not just. Yeah.
My heart and soul was poured into this book. Everything I've learned in the baseball and coaching world. Enjoy it. Thank you, sir. All right. Appreciate
Take
you.
care, sir. Good to meet you. Hi, Bob. So,
Thanks, guys.
what we're saying is that, look, that's why everybody's got a different story, right?
Yeah.
I had a kid that he pitched me in high school, tall, 6'5", righty. I don't want to say his name on here because, whatever. But
Gotcha.
he went,
Norris.
yeah, he was third. He went offered in the third round, and he was committed to a big name school,
Okay.
big time school, and those big time schools, they have pretty detailed presentations to show you before the draft to all the reasons why you should be going to school.
Yeah.
And all these numbers, right? Well, he went to school there and he chose. I told him at the time, I said, bro, it's a lot of money, 800 G's, you know what I mean? Pitch every 5 days, right? No matter what. He went and he
Went
was
to school.
He went to school, 95,
Okay.
big time school, 95, 96. But at the school he went to, he was a big heavy weight guy. He loved to train heavy, squat, lift, and do all this stuff. He felt strong doing that. School didn't believe in that. They said, no, you're not doing that type of workout here. We run. He's like, I'm not a runner. No, we're running. And you're not doing squatting. You're not doing deadlifts and hacks. So I said, well, that's how I got here. But
Yeah.
they forced him out of that. Anyway, COVID hits. That fall, he goes to school. He goes from 95 to 92. You went to the program and lost velo. Goes back during COVID, starts training his way. Goes back to what it is, comes back to school after COVID's done. 97, 98 with a disgusting Bugs Bunny changeup. Now he's pitching in Omaha and doing all this shit, right? And but again, comes back the next year. You struggle a little bit in college at some of these big time programs. Hey man, you're in the pen, scratching for an inning out of the pen now.
Yeah.
You're not pitching anymore. Anyway,
It's
3 years later, drafted again. They offered him in the 17th or something round and 100 grand.
Yeah.
He lost 600. Didn't get the degree even from the college because he signed his junior year. So he didn't get the degree. Lost 600 grand. So that's what I'm saying. It's not. There's no right or wrong. The Troy Glaus thing. Yeah, he bet on himself.
Yeah.
And he won.
Yeah.
Right. Like my boy Josh Palacios that I work with now. They drafted him in the 18th round in a high school.
Yeah.
Now I'm better than that. He goes to San Jack, JUCO.
Yeah.
Tears it up down there. They offer him the 8th round. Nope, I'm better than that. Transfers to Auburn. Goes, tears it up. When Brad Bohannon and those guys were at Auburn, tears it up in the SEC. Hits like 330 or 340 with 8 or 9 bombs. Gets drafted in the 4th round by the Blue Jays. So he increased his value and he kept betting on himself.
Yeah.
Right? But that's why it's like there's no one right way to do it.
Well, I also believe that if you're going to be a big leaguer, you're going to be a big leaguer. And anything before that, dude, like this isn't something in your life that you're going to be able to do and then it's over.
Right.
So unless you become a big leaguer, like it's your life is and big leaguer and then play for a long time. And then even then, like this game chews everybody up and spits you out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to figure out what to do with the rest of your life. But in order to like say make it, so to speak, and it's also make it is not like a cup of coffee in the big leagues. Like it's
5 years.
It's 5 years.
Yeah.
It's getting past the arbitration, spending some time and bouncing around. And really what do you get walking away from that? Look, I played parts of 11 big league seasons. I played with 5 different teams. Brad Hopp was over there earlier. You know what I mean? Just kind of random, but like it just the relationships and the connections and the people that you see and and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
And the coaches and like, Rock Hudgens, who's Dave Hudgens' kid, who was my hitting coach from A-ball on up. And I see him now. He's coaching at SC. And I like all of those things. Like it's why you go to college too, right? It's life.
Yeah.
These life experiences that you get to go through with these guys. And I don't know, dude, I was playing pickleball with Kevin Euclid the other day. And the conversations that I'm able to have with him and there's a deeper understanding from, I think, both of us
Right.
on what it is and, you know, what it means to have played in the big leagues. But ultimately with all of it, if you're going to play, if you're good enough to fucking play and you have the drive to play, I promise you're going to fucking play. Honestly, like, I don't care if you go to college.
Yeah.
It's the people, you know, make the best of the way that, you know, I'm trying to think. The best turns out for the people who make the way. It's, you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm trying to say,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You if you can make the best of the situation, it's going to work out the best for you, no matter what that situation is.
Right.
So if that situation is college, and dude, college wasn't always great. Like, I went to UCLA. I was not a fucking dude. I was drafted in the 38th round by the Dodgers out of high school, but I wasn't a dude, right? And then I go there with this number one recruiting class. They thought they were going to redshirt me. And I went to Gary Adams' office. I said, you know, Skip, like, I'm not here to redshirt. And he's like, you're not? He goes, okay, you're starting to right field tomorrow. Right field tomorrow, leading off. So let's see what you can do. He goes, show me you're not going to redshirt. I said, I got you. First pitch. Whack. Top of the right field wall. I never looked back. Walk away 4 years later. All-time hits leader for UCLA. A lot of big names have gone there, bro.
How many players do you know, college freshmen, that have even the ability to walk into a head coach's office and have that conversation?
Yeah, they're on the balls.
A lot of guys.
You have a lot of confidence, man.
Yeah, man. And that's one of the biggest differences I see. And listen, I ended my playing career in college at a JUCO. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I started coaching younger guys. And I love the idea of trying to level a guy up. But I've coached hundreds of guys. And I think people think in their mind that, look, out of all the years, I've been coaching for almost 15 years. I only had 3 guys that I ever worked with really, really closely get to the big league level.
Yeah.
You could coach your entire life.
It's crazy.
Dude, people don't realize that. I think there's 750, 800 guys in the big leagues, humans, and only 650 of those are American born.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's so that's a huge issue that people don't even realize. It's
like,
one thing to play D1 college baseball, and hey, congratulations, good job. And then you play pro ball, that's a whole nother thing. Hey, congratulations, like this and that. Dude, once you get there, it's fucking half, man. It's half. And it's only about 800 that are there at any given time. So that's 400.
Yeah.
And that's 40%, so it's less than that.
And that's why I was trying to, like, when you talk about that, like, you wish people understood more details of what goes on behind the scenes and what that grind is like, because